Okay guys, very quick update with Bitcoin. I just want to go over your key levels. If you watched the last video, I said pay attention to see if you get a weekly open below 114,400. If we do, your next target is 108,500 to go long or to short too. That did play out. We opened below and we dropped to support and got a perfect bounce right here. That was this video here. This was about a day ago. It says time, just maybe 2 days ago. Time sensitive tonight. We found out Bitcoin will crash or moon. This is 12 minutes 55 seconds in. I said, all right, we do know that we're going to have support around 108K. You see my cursor's right here. So if we come down, that'd be the point you go long. Also made a post in Discord showing confluence out the wazoo around 108K. So that would be the area you would short to, and then you would long. And you can see we got a perfect bounce and pushed up. So that is your most critical level right now to pay attention to. If we drop below 108,500 and that becomes resistance, we know we have a lot more downside. If we push up, well, you know 114,600 is your most critical resistance because that is that curve that goes back since, 2011. But I want to show you some other key levels between that point. So if we do push up or drop, I want to show you those key support resistance levels on the daily and the hourly. This is the weekly. Guys, if you get a leverage trading coin cash, it's a great option. No KYC, no VPN. They have some bonus specials going on. If you deposit 1,000 USDT, you can get 5,000 USDT bonus back. I'll link it to the specials page now if you want to check it out. If you do get and use your bonus, you can get free access to my charts in Discord. Just email me through the website and I'll set you up. If you want to sign up under my referral link, I'll put a link up to that now. If you want to learn how to trade on CoinCats, tutorial video I made, all these links will be pinned in the first comment description, as well as my website. If you want to sign up, get access to Bitcoin, altcoin charts, precious metals, and Discord. I also have tutorials teaching my charting method. Guys, if you do sign up, make sure you email through the contact page so I can send you a Discord invite link. And you can't pay with USDT, but you need to email me through the website. So let's just cover these key levels. So as I said, just pay attention to 108K, 108,500. I'm not saying close your short. I'm just telling you that we did get a bounce from 108,500. So if we get below that point, that becomes resistance. Obviously, we have a lot more downside. As I mentioned in the previous video, pay attention. We did get a cross on the moving average for the MACD on the weekly, which is bearish. But again, we can get moves on the daily and hourly. It can be up and down. While the MACD does look very bearish, it looks very bearish on the weekly. Again, you can see we caught a perfect bounce, 108,000. So if we get above 114,600, that holds a support. Well, look, this is how you play it. If you push up, if you're not already in a short, now keep in mind that this yellow line right here goes back since the beginning of Bitcoin. This is a very key level. Plus we have this curve that goes back since 2011 that has been resistance. It was briefly support. That's basically only wicks below. That's why I said if we get a weekly open below, we're coming down to 108,500. So if we push up, your most key resistance is 114,600. If we hold above 114,600, well, your next point you want to go long to or potentially short would be this red line that goes back to 2017. 2 videos back, I covered this line and said, look, if you daily open above, that's bullish. Daily open below, that's bearish. So you should have shorted 117,000, got a daily open below. And then we got a weekly open below that curve, you should have gone short. But yes, I would stay long. Again, I'm not saying close or short. I'm saying a scalp long. Hopefully you caught it around 108,587. But if that does break and become resistance, take note that's the central Bollinger Band on the weekly. So again, if we're below that point, then yes, we have a lot more downside. For now, this would just be a scalp long entry. Until we get back above 114,600, I would short 114,600. If we do hold above that point, like I said, I would long up to at least, again, this is your next key resistance above, would be around 117,100. There's a lot of confluence in other charts as well. Just on this chart alone, you can see that this is just a support trend line. We held support around 108,600. The fib line I have below is around 107,555. Your next resistance level just above, well, we do have this trend line prices respecting. That's right at 111,000. You could scalp a short there, but the most key level, I go by the fib lines, is going to be around 111,745. Keep in mind that is our previous high from the 23rd of May, 2025. So you could scalp a short from there or open a short from there. But again, these are just levels on different charts. I look for confluence between charts. We know 117,128 is going to be very strong resistance. We can look at this on other charts as well. So for instance, your next resistance on the D1 chart is around 112,600. If we get above that, the center Bollinger Band on the daily is sitting at currently 116,284. If you got above that, the next fib line above, if you'll take note, 117,000. Tomorrow's candle has 117,261, and as you can see, there is confluence there. 117,000. This red line goes back to 2017. So if we did hold above, again, if we hold above this curve, again, I'm just giving you the targets, guys. You play this how you want. If we get above 114,600, you would long to or want to short when you make contact with 117,128. Multiple charts show that. And this, again, this red line goes back to 2017. Very strong resistance. If we do break 108K, 108,500, guys, your next, this is just a fib line, 105,154. Your next support level below that, this is a very key. This line right here goes back since the beginning of Bitcoin as well. That's setting down around 95,000. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. First, before we can be looking at these lower targets, we have to break 108,500. I told you that'd be strong support. That'd be the point you would scalp along. You have your targets on the this the D1 chart. Your next support level below is going to be around 103,300, depending when you make contact. But again, I would be long from 108,500. If that breaks, then you could add to your short if this becomes resistance. And I would be looking to take profit if you're in a long, at least around 113,000. If you're lucky, maybe 114,000, because that is going to be a lot of resistance. As I said, this yellow line goes back since the beginning of Bitcoin. Plus now you have this curve that is now going to be resistance again. Let me go on through this, guys. So you have your key levels to play here. This is the hourly chart. Take note that we're just bouncing this trend line here with support, support, support. It was briefly resistance, now it's support. So we're holding above this trend line. Your next key support level I have on the hourly is around 108,358. Your next resistance level, and you can scalp these targets, guys, if you're playing on the hourly. We do have this trend line. Take note, this red trend line was a lot of support, a lot of resistance, and you can see that resistance level is very close to this fib line. So next resistance level, and you can see there's confluence between this target here, 112,600 and 112,700, next key resistance level. Next key resistance level above that is around 116,151. Keep in mind this is on the hourly. We bring this out, you know, we're getting close to 117,000. Like I said, that is your next key resistance level above. That is in confluence with the daily. This level is going to be a very important resistance level. That's going to be up around 119,000. However, if we get up to that point, well, that's bullish, guys, because that means we're back above that red trend line. Again, I'm just giving you the targets so you can just decide for yourself how you want to play this. But we do know that if we break 108,500, we have some much lower targets. In the meantime, I would be scalping along from this point, at least back up to 114,000. Perfect entry for a short. If we hold above 114K, then like I said, pay attention to 117,000. That gives you your targets on the daily and the hourly. If you watched the last video, I mentioned the Dow. I said that we would potentially get topped out at this ring right here. We didn't quite make it to the ring. I'm expecting us to come down and hold support down here around, again, this is the Dow Jones, potentially around maybe 44,500. I'll expect to catch one more bounce, and then we'll get rejected, potentially around maybe 46,000. At that point, I expect us to come down and continue to come down, to move down this ring. I explained in the previous video why this is the case, why I believe this is the top for the indices, and we're going to have a prolonged bear market, which is one reason I'm saying that the top is potentially in for Bitcoin. So again, once we make contact, confirm support on this ring again, push back up, that's when I open puts on the Dow, and again, that's why I believe that the bear market has started. And again, if you can predict what's going to happen with Bitcoin, you know what's going to happen with altcoins. If you can predict what's going to happen with indices, well, you can predict what's going to happen with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin follows the indices. The DXY, you can see we broke below this, they call it the Trixie Dixie. We broke below this this trend line right here and then pushed back above. As I said, your most key support level on the DXY is around 96.66. As long as that holds, we could see some more upside for the US dollar. If 96.6 breaks, well, guys, go all in on Bitcoin and the stock market and gold and silver because the dollar is going to tank. In the meantime, if we get above 98.66 for the DXY, your next resistance level is setting up around 100. So I do think there's some upside for the US dollar because I think there's a lot of potential downside for the markets, and people typically flee to cash or safety. That pretty much covers it. If you want more detail about this, I do cover this in previous videos. But again, guys, just pay attention. 108,587, that is the support level to watch. You know, if we start getting daily opens, especially weekly opens below 108,500, then, you know, we have a lot more downside to go. In the meantime, you might want to stay long from this point. Like I said, up to at least 114,000, maybe get a little sooner, and then wait and see what happens. If we do hold above that, again, your next target, 117,000. But these are your key levels. I don't know what else to say, guys. I can tell you this, in my opinion, because we are now back below this curve, I think we will see a lot more downside, even if we get a little bounce. Like I said, I believe the top is in and we have a lot more downside. But you can scalp the hell out of these targets. And that's what I do. If we continue dropping, I'll give you points to scalp longs, or at least points to add to your shorts. That is the point of these charts, guys. Again, if you want to get leverage trading, check out CoinCatch. Again, all these links are pinned in the first comment description for CoinCatch, the tutorial video, and my website. If you have any questions, just feel free to email me, guys. That's it. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.